to stand firm in faith. So imagine standing at the edge of the Red Sea, the Egyptian army closing in, and no visible way of escape, no visible way out. And that is where the Israelites found themselves. They found themselves in a fix at a very tight corner. I believe that there seemed to be no way of escape for them at that material moment. But Moses, their leader, has to steal the people, has to stand forward and give them an exhortation. So if you look at their story, you read that story, and you can understand that it is where many of us find ourselves at some point in our lives. We find ourselves in moments or in situations where there is no visible way out. It looks like there's no way of escape. But Moses' words to the Israelites offers us also a very powerful reminder, okay, which is do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. Stand firm, and you will see the deliverance the Lord will bring you today. So here there is the power of stillness. And you see, what is it? You see, when God tells us to be still, it is not because He is not working. It's because He wants us to trust Him. It's because He wants us to have confidence in Him that He is much more than able to bring us out of those problems. He's much more than able to get you out of the predicament. So He tells you to be still. That's why He tells you to be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving you make your request known unto the Lord. So in the stillness we find peace, and that peace is the peace that transcends our understanding. It's a reminder that our battles aren't ours only, but the Lord fights for us. He fights for us. The Lord fights for you. So sometimes we need to take a step back and let God unfold His plan. And if you read Exodus chapter 14, that is exactly what God did. Especially in verse 13 to 15. We see the plan of God being unfolded. That day they saw the faithfulness of God. That day they saw a mighty deliverance. They were pulled out of something that naturally they would not be able to have come out of. But God had a plan. God led them that way because He had a plan. He knows the end from the beginning. He knows the end from the beginning. Hallelujah. So it's hard to trust when we cannot see the way forward. That I must tell you. It is natural. But God's guidance is always perfect, even when it leads us to to the uncertainty or through uncertainties. When it leads us to confusion or problems, His plans are always perfect. His guidance is always perfect. Now let me give you some key notes so that we can end this exhortation here and begin to lift up prayer. Number one, trust in God's deliverance. We are ending the series today, so let me just mop up. Trust in God's deliverance, just like the Israelites did. We can trust that God will deliver us from our troubles. Yes, we can have faith and confidence in the Lord that no matter what the level of problems or confusion we have found ourselves in, He is able to deliver us from that problem, from that trouble, from that confusion. He is able, much more than we can think of. So that should make you to stand firm in your faith. Stand firm in your faith. When you are faced with the challenges, stand firm and trust in God's plan for you, because it is your plan that may have failed, but God's plan never fails. And when you think that the things did not go the way you plan it, always remember that God has another plan. He has another plan. That is why you must find peace in stillness. You must find peace in the midst of the chaos, in the midst of the confusion, in the midst of the challenges. Find peace in God's presence and find peace in God's promises. Because He's promised to fight for us. He's promised to fight for us, and He's fighting for us.